What's up, everyone? Nathan coming back at you with their Monotype Pokemon Showdown Live. My favorite metagame on the ladder right now, and I'm glad to see that you guys are enjoying it too. But we've done 2 Fire Lives, we've done 2 Bug Lives. We're not done with them. I'll probably come back to them at some point, but I still have 60 more typings to do, and you guys are clamoring for all kinds of typing. So let's get going here. I've actually written down, again, I say this every time, and if you're doubting me, I'm writing every single vote that's been received so far. And while things have been pretty even, you know, most typings are getting at least some sort of vote support. Right now, the clear winner is Mono Ice right now. It is almost 50% more votes than anything the next closest right now, which I understand actually. I quite enjoy Mono Ice, despite me kind of trashing it with my video on Hail that I put out a little while ago. I think it's actually really, really good in Monotype and really fun, more importantly. It's when I talk about, you know, something having a playstyle that can gear itself around, it makes complete sense. But the fact is, if I am going to be doing Mono Ice, I gotta be, as always, I painted myself into a corner when it comes to dressing up and stuff, but it's fun, so I gotta get dressed here. Hold on one sec. Okay, well, this team is pretty cold, pretty cool. What's the best way to describe that? Anyways, it's a pretty cool team. So I'm going to be dressed as warmly as possible here. But while I'm getting dressed, let's talk about Mono Ice, because the greatest advantage that, in my opinion, Mono Ice has is its attackers, because Darmanitan and Galar is allowed in the tier. It makes complete sense to me. Ice is not too strong that Darmanitan and Galar tips it over the balance. In addition to some strong attackers, like Arc Result's pretty strong in the Hail. Weavile, quite powerful. Cloyster, I put out a video on Cloyster and how insanely difficult it is to deal with, you know, with Focus Sash or with White Herb or evilly with King's Rock, quite good. Kyurem is probably a Spec Kyurem. This is just a regular stall sort of substitute sub roost one, but Kyurem is one of the best wall breakers in the metagame. The Spec Ice Beam is almost impossible to swap into, and if you do have a great answer like a Toxapex, you can get Freeze Dry or Earth Powered or Draco Meteored, or, you know, if you have an Air Balloon Heat Red, you can get hit with a Focus Blast. Like, it's got great coverage, amazing attacking stats, and it's really hard to deal with. This is all supported by an excellent hyper offense lead in Ninetales Alola. Ninetales Alola has Aurora Veil, which is one of the best things you can have for a Cloyster, for example. Cloyster has sizable defenses and can shell smash on a lot of threats. When you add something amazing like Aurora Veil, it really jumps up a notch to be even stronger. Keep in mind the weather's actually really warm outside, so I'm not sure how long I'll be able to sustain this. So we'll start with the sample teams like I often like to do, to kind of get a basic feel for it. And if you want to start with the sample team, that's completely fine. I will probably build one myself next one. I promise that for Bug, but at that point I'll probably do it. Okay, that should be good. Get my gloves on. I think it's just Arctic cold here. Do I need a hoodie? I don't think I can get the hood up. I don't think. Oh. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do nicely. Okay, so let's hit the ladder with this team. Although before we get going on that, I should also point out why this is actually a very effective counter sample team too, because Pillow is a surprisingly good mon defensively when equipped with these this Eviolite and Max Spadef. 60 and base 100 might seem awful, but they actually stack up pretty well. And Ground is a good secondary typing to cover a lot of the weaknesses. You know, having electric coverage is always nice, of course. But yeah, Pillow actually does quite competently. Avalugg, look at those defensive stats. No question why it's good. Kyurem itself, if you have heavy duty boots, is actually a quite good defensive mon as well. No question about that. So this is almost more of a balance. Again, I would not describe this as a balance. I guess I can do this scene now. The important thing, as I mentioned right here, is that you do have surprisingly good defensive qualities, but you're not resting on a poison stall. You are not, you know, you're not sustaining any long games. If any game, even with a more defensive team like this, is going into the 50, 60, 70 turn limit, you're probably in some trouble, especially when it comes to sustaining long-term games against Stealth Rocks, because yeah, sure, Avalugg can Rapid Spin on Stealth Rocks. If it gets heavy duty boots knocked off, then you're in huge trouble. So the point of a team like this is, look, you're not getting any better offense than Kyurem, Cloyster, and Darmanitan and Galar, especially with Flare Blitz coverage. Unbelievable. But you know, that's as good offense as you want. So why overkill it and just have these defensive pieces as well? Not, you know, Ninetales Alola is not quite a defensive piece, but the addition of Aurora Veil makes it very defensive. So you're not getting much better offense than these three. So why not just lean into that and give them as many opportunities to do their offense as possible as you can by supporting it with some defensive mons? I think that's definitely a sound strategy. I'm not sure which one I'll start out with. Let's start with, and I also have a version of the Maroon team with a Kyurem as well, because I think Kyurem's so good, of course. Being able to damage those water type attackers with freeze dry is just so punishing. But I think we'll start with just the basic, most classic HO team that is available there with the Maroon Ice. I believe it still came with Avalugg. I tinker with these things all the time, so it's hard to say where the sample begins and where the sample ends. And we're up against quite a squad here. I'm having a hard time manipulating the mouse with this, so if I do a misclick, don't be too surprised. I don't think there's anything to disincentivize my Ninetales Alola from going for Auroraville off the rip. And that's also good because that'll set up our Arctozolt a little bit with that tries Stomping Tantrum to hit pretty hard, and Ice Cold Crash to hit the Emolga if they try that stuff. But if I am being perfectly honest, I worry about like a Pikachu, like one of these guys must have Iron Tail, and what if they lead that, So I think I will lead my Avalugg, anticipating that they go to one of those Mons. Why not? So they go to Pichu instead. I don't know what you do, Pichu. Can I just Iron Defense on you and win? Is that my thing? Are they gonna set up? I feel like I should know what's going on here, but I really don't. Stay Protect. I was debating an Iron Defense. Oh man. I'll Body Press again. Say Toxic, Focus Sash. Is this Endeavor? Am I gonna get Endeavored here? Endeavor into Quick Attack into, yeah, son of a gun. All right. Well, what could I have done to even prevent that? I guess Cloyster would have been a little bit better. Let's try Ninetales at this point. See, my Ninetales lead would have been fine there. Oh, now Pikachu does have Iron Tail. I don't really have a swap in for it. I'm faster. I don't think I can Oko with a Moonblast though. I don't think Ninetales has quite got it like that. I'll go up with the Auroraville. I might miss. Oh, they don't even seem to have it, which is awesome. As they are going to Volt Tackle, so I can probably go to my Arctozolt here. I'll be faster the turn afterwards if nothing else. Yeah, quite easily, as they take quite a bit of damage themselves here. And yeah, Stomping Tantrum does sweep pretty easily, but it's a weak move, and Ice Cold Crash is stab, and it covers the Emolga. So I think we'll do Ice Cold Crash here. You know what? That knockoff might help us out. I'll Stomping Tantrum if that's the case. I still got like, this is an Icy Rock Ninetales Alola, right? Yeah, so I still got several turns of Hail going here, and that actually might benefit us in the long term. I get why it's banded because, let's face it, 300 attack is not really cutting it these days, but when you're trying to break a bunch of electric rats, it'll do. It'll do. So yeah, I think I'm covered against whatever they go to right now as they go to Emolga. Yeah, sure enough. Let's Ice Cold Crash here and get the KO. I mean, shoutouts for the cool team, but don't believe it's going to cut it here. Oh, they do tank it. Got a new Morpeko. I feel like traumatized by Ice Cold Crash. I don't want to go for a Darmanitan Ice Cold Crash sweep at this point. I want to EQ instead. Let's get a second game. I don't really count that. Let's get a second game going against Mono Fighting. Okay, this is the sample one. Oh man, the champ always gives me trouble, but I'm counting my chickens before they hatch here. Let's get this going as they nuzzle. Kind of annoying, but I can freeze dry here or Moonblast. Moonblast is stronger. See, I don't always get games at the same time, so I'm trying to wait a second here. Come on, dude. Come on. You got 2 electric rats. I guess I can choose my lead while I look at this. So looking at lead options, I would probably lead a Cobalion. It's a rocker. It has Volt Switch if it's a truly disastrous matchup, like a Cloyster, which isn't truly disastrous, but you get my point. If I can chip that, actually, Cloyster would look really good. And it's going to match up well versus my obvious Ninetales lead at this point. Of course. So I don't love Ninetales Alola as a lead for that. And I'm honestly, if I'm doing any lead, I'm predicting one of those steals to try to punish my Ninetales off the rip. So let's see if we can do something to beat that. Oh, it's a fairy type. Okay, thank God. And you guys have no idea how hard it is to manipulate this dumb mouse. Okay, we do take it. Struggle to type out GG. I can finally pick a lead versus this guy here. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely afraid of that lead. If I was trying to beat it, Avalugg not fantastic. Darmanitan pretty good. I don't know if I can Oko with Flare Blitz. Their defenses are so high, so I'd have some pause there. I can't really swap into that move, of course. Cloyster, I could go for a Shell Smash into an Icicle Spear. I don't love that play either. I can Iron Defense. I would live one hit with Avalugg, and I could go for a Body Press afterwards. You know, It's kind of a waste of Avalugg, but it's not doing too much in this matchup anyways. So I'm pretty comfortable with this play. The thing is, if they go for rocks, an Iron Defense off the rip would be really spectacular. However, I worry about a swap. So they could Volt Switch into Lucario, which would melt me because looking at their team, I'm guessing it's a special Lucario. Plus, actually, your Shifu will ignore my defenses with a move. I'm not. Okay, wow, that was not... I expected a lot there. That was not what I expected. I thought maybe they swap, maybe they attack me, maybe they go for rocks. All kinds of things were what I was fearing, but not that. So if I had body pressed off the rip, this would be a 2-hit KO. But yeah, chipping Cobalion is awesome. I do deny rocks here. Are they going to taunt again? I revealed the Iron Defense, but actually isn't terrible against them, all things considered. So if I'm them, I'm taunting again. And again, if I can kill Cobalion, oh, they might flinch me. No, okay, yeah, hell yeah. I'm taking that to the bank because now Cloyster is going to be really difficult for them to deal with. I think it might still be able to kill Lucario. This one doesn't have Hydro Pump. So yeah, I quite like that. And Machamp's going to come out. Do I sack this Avalugg? I mean, no one can swap into this Machamp more importantly, in my opinion. So let's do this. Yeah, I can chip you a little bit. Down for that. Or not, you know, who needs chip? Not me. Is now the chance for Cloyster? Not really, because a Dynamic Punch could actually confuse me. I can get off a Moonblast here, but I think Machamp's got mediocre bulk. I would expect him to tank that. I don't know if I would tank the Dynamic Punch in return. Maybe I live 1. I think I'm gonna go for the Auroraville though. I don't know. I think with an Auroraville, my odds are that I'll tank it. Oh, Bullet Punch, of course. Okay, well, that gets me. No question. Can't really swap into that, so that's probably a death. I mean, I was prepared for this when I did this play instead of Moonblasting. Unfortunate, but, you know, I can't go to Weavile. I can't go to Darmanitan. Arctozolt will definitely do a KO, and I need to preserve the Sash on my Cloyster at this point, so... Sure. Let's Moonblast. And yeah, I mean, I still don't really feel good about the Cloyster play. So if it's just a Bullet Punch and I have a Auroraville up, I am pretty comfortable with going to my Arctozolt and just start attacking here. In fact, there's no Bolt Beak resist. So that seems pretty good to me. I'm faster, you know, go for your Bullet Punch here. I'm just trying to break right now. Actually, a Vacuum Wave from Lucario would be kind of annoying, but again, I got a Auroraville support, 200 Spadef. That's not miserable. So maybe Buzzwole here, definite possibility. Yeah, and I'm okay to break Buzzwole. If this Arctozolt dies, oh man, is that Scarf? And then we still tank it. My guy, dude, Arctozolt. What idiot talked trash about Arctozolt being bad in another video on how Hail sucks? Whoever that was, exposed. But yeah, with all these starts gone, my Cloyster's gonna be really, really difficult for them to deal with. Plus, they still have 3 turns of Hail to contend with. Now, Lucario does give me Pus, it probably is priority. And they're not special in their Life Orb Extreme Speed. Interesting. That is interesting. Darmanitan can kind of just win. Weavile, what am I saving it for if I'm not going for a low kick right now? Yeah, we'll go to Weavile here. Or is it Crash chips Lucario? It prevents a Hawlucha or a Shifu swapping quite as much. Yeah, well. They don't even know if I'm choice locked is the other thing, actually. They don't know that at all. They could go to Hawlucha. I can't really... The thing is, I can't really lose to Hawlucha, though, as long as I keep up all my stuff here. Is this a Scarf or Shifu? I think it was. So yeah, and now Hawlucha does get in scot-free here. But they can't really beat me as long as I've got the Sash on my Cloyster here. So that's a relief. So we're going to come away against Mono Fighting, which is actually, you know, I actually neglected to bring this up. That was a disadvantage matchup for us. I don't have any attack. I might as well go for it. This is a disadvantage matchup for us. Ice versus Fighting. We should have just gotten smoked here. But again, Ice has really strong offense. Okay. And yeah, then we Icicle Spear for the win. Even if it somehow doesn't kill. We got the shard in the back. GG to my opponent. Awesome game 1. Well, we kind of had another game, but I'm not counting it. So we're about 60 minutes into the recording here. Do I want to do one more with this or go to the Smub Ice team? I'll try the Smub Ice team because we don't know how long this next game's going to be, of course. So I'll give this a shot because I'll probably plan to build one the next live. So yeah, I mean, I think it's quite powerful. Just the fact is, if you're stacking up the offensive behemoths of Ice, Kyurem, Weavile kind of, but Kyurem, Cloyster, and Darmanitan, they can stand up against any other typing that you care to name. Their offense has no concerns. And again, Piloswine and Avalugg are kind of underrated. Oh, and we get an advantage matchup here, don't we? I'm okay with that. And yeah, Ninetales Alola, you know, you get some control of weather, so you can have some counterplay against rain and sun and sand, stuff like that. Plus, you get to manipulate your own hail a little bit when you have that Arc result, which put in really surprising work for us, didn't it? This looks like a bit of a grass balance. Would not be surprised if there was multiple grassy glide users like on the Zarude. This might be a sample though. It seems kind of familiar. Definitely got some defensive utility here. This is how I think this is a pretty optimal looking grass team in my opinion. The Credilli might seem odd, but that rock typing really gives it a lot of help against really almost all of grass's weaknesses that you care to name with the exception of ice. But Ferrothorn's one to watch out for too. The matchup to really fear if I'm them though is Darmanitan, right? There's nothing they can do about Darmanitan. Sure, maybe it's not a 2-hit KO on the Credilli with Fire, Flare Blitz, but everything else it is. If anything, it's just a concern of like, how do I put this? Flare Blitz is gonna do too much damage. So that's the only concern I can care to name. So again, if I'm my opponent, I think the Ninetales lead is pretty obvious. Definitely something that I could anticipate if I were them. So if they were going to do that, they could lead with their Ferrothorn. They could also lead with their Amoonguss and try to go for a Spore or something. I wouldn't love that if I was them because they would get freeze-dried if that's the case. That's the thing. Avalugg I quite like against a Ferrothorn to prevent my Ninetales, but I don't. And it's probably a nasty plot Celebi, by the way. I should point that out. I quite like it versus Credilli too, but I have pause against Amoonguss. I don't even think I have a good swap if that was the case. So I don't love that. Who would I sack if that happened? I guess Piloswine. Maybe my Avalugg. I mean, Avalugg's got good matchups here. Yeah, and they do that. Dang it, dang it. So this covered both of these. I didn't really have a good secondary game plan. So I'm going to call that a bad lead in my case because I think what's more important than predicting what your opponent's going to go to first is having a sort of secondary plan on what happens if your plan goes wrong. I talk about that a lot. So a Piloswine would have matched up well versus this, and had they gone to Ferrothorn, I could have gone to Avalugg very easily. But that just seemed like a very passive lead to me, so I hated the thought of it, obviously. It's got to be Piloswine, but then I'm kind of giving up rocks for a long time here. But, oh well. Yeah, Spore comes in. Best move in Pokemon. I will not hear anything to the contrary. If they Spore, the thing is, yeah, if they go for a Freeze Dry, then, or sorry, if they go for a Stun Spore, then my Kyurem's not a very good play. But if they go for any attack, like a Giga Drain or whatever, then Kyurem's pretty good. I also worry about them swapping straight to their Ferrothorn, or even to their Rillaboom to try to get some offense going. Kyurem's okay against both of those plays. I could scout a Gyro Ball with Kyurem. If they don't have Gyro Ball or Body Press, I kind of wall, which is probably unlikely. What could I do to beat Rillaboom as well? Avalugg would cover that pretty nicely. I double switch to Darmanitan, but again, that Stun Spore. I'm going to do Avalugg because it covers the Stun Spore option there. So they're going to Sludge Bomb here, which does quite a bit of damage, actually. Dang. Let's recover. Let's get back up to full. They might just stay in and just keep lasting here. But I'd like to keep the illusion that I have an ice move. They don't know that I'm only rocking Body Press right now, right? They might look at the sample here. Okay, but they're just going to keep going for it then. That, you know, the Sludge Bomb I knew was a possibility because it's a strong hit, but it surprised me just because Piloswine resists it, of course, with the ground typing. So if I was just trying to burn out turns of sleep here, then that would have been not the best play on their part. And I'm kind of praying for, I'm playing for a crit or a poison by staying in and just recover spamming here. So this isn't a good look for me either. I can't go to Ninetales. Maybe they're covering the Ninetales swap in. Yeah, I don't like this plan. I'm slowly getting back up. I can still like come into a Rillaboom was my thought there. I want to be able to come in on a Rillaboom or a Zarude and be able to offer some sort of defensive threat here. But I guess if this is what they're dedicated to doing here, then yeah, like that was a crit. When I'm telling you that Piloswine's good defensively, sure it resists that, but that was a crit and we tanked it. Taking damage here, but I can get a Brox. Now they'll probably Giga Drain again. I'm gonna go for it, especially if they Giga Drain. It should threaten them out with Freeze Dry alone. So go to Ferrothorn there. They switch that turn. Man, I'll be honest, guys. I'm really having a hard time getting a read on our opponent here. I'll do this because if they go for rocks, then I can get a Freeze Dry off, which is nice. 25% chip on Ferrothorn, nothing to sneeze at. We scout the Gyro Ball. That's worth it too. If And that's a hard one to swap in and out of. In terms of speed here, Avalug's pretty okay. I think we're okay to do this here. We can also rapid spin, of course. Body press is fantastic in this matchup. I'm going to go for the rapid spin. As a toxic, opponent's giving me no respect right now, and I hate it. Ferrothorn takes 55% there. Awesome. That guy's super low. It's not much of a defensive threat anymore. I'm betting we see an Amoonguss swap right now, but again, my opponents just consistently surprise me on what move they're going to click right now. So I think I can recover. It's a Livid Gyro Ball. And yeah, if they switch that Amoonguss there, then we're fine. Let's go to Piloswine. It's the Giga Drain on the prediction again. Man, my guy's over predicting here. So my video on predictions here, I guess I got to, you know, start sipping my own Kool-Aid here. Kyurem, I think, is a little bit obvious. I'm going to go for a Stealth Rock. Do we wake up? No, we don't. But we tank Gyro Ball quite easily. I'll look up Avalug again here. It's pretty safe. A Rapid Spin on Amoonguss. Kind of hanging in there in health. Toxic does not help, of course, but we'll manage. Look, if they Sludge Bomb me, it's not the end of the world. They don't seem to have any secondary status here. Yeah, not the end of the world. I got Roost. I'll sub up here. As they reveal Rock Slide, not Rock Blast. Okay, so I'm kind of chipped right now. I'm not getting too much that's important off, but I've got a Spore Sack, which is important. I've gotten Ferrothorn down low. I don't think we're in terrible shape. I can actually just PP stall Rock Slide, funnily enough. Yeah, that's no answer to Kyurem here. They got to swap out eventually. Not very fun, but that's the nature of why I run this Kyurem. It's for this very reason. Oh crap, now they could Toxic me. I thought they'd Toxic at least once in there. I'm getting so outplayed. It's actually absurd how much I'm being outplayed right now, guys. That was a predictable one. I will totally give you that's a predictable one, but they cooked me on that. And well, now I have nothing to fear, so I can do this. They recover, man. So there are 2 Rock Slides left. Let's swap to our Cloyster's actually not bad in that situation. Don't think they have Giga Drain. I think I can get a recover off with Avalug. Let's see how much this does. It's the EQ, they reveal that. That's actually pretty rare on Credilli. I think I live a Rock Slide here. Might be wrong. Amoonguss again. Piloswine guarantee gets it's out next time. I think they Sludge Bomb here for sure, actually, so that's fine. No, man. I can't get a play right. Am I getting stream sniped yet, guys? Is there someone outside my window right now? Are they watching my plays? What? I can't get a single play off. See, I think we're actually in good spot, but I gotta get a prediction right here. So let's 10 Sludge Bombs. I'm probably getting a move off first. I could go for Stealth Rocks here, but am I faster? Did we reveal that earlier? I am faster, so I'm guaranteed to get off these rocks. Well, no, it's about 50-50. What the hell? Plus they could swap, but I doubt it. Oh, really? They do swap. And we get the rocks up. Huge. Let's go for an EQ, chip my guy a bit. I'm not really swapping into anything defensively anymore. Ferrothorn's essentially dead at this point. Okay, hopefully I can finally get some offense going after all this. Although rocks are still up, which is very annoying. And I will body press here. Yeah, got you. So if I can rapid spin, then rocks stay off. They're probably doing a special attack here. Like a psychic, but I don't know. I think I live a psychic. I think this is a good Kyurem point, actually. As they reveal psychic, sure enough. Wow, that's crazy damage plus the Spadef drop. Doesn't really matter, but leftovers too. Not even nasty plot. Man, max investments to Ellaby. Terrifying. Ninetales is faster. I can finally get up some Auroraville at this point. Don't like our situation, actually. Again, Kyurem, if it hadn't been toxic, would be really fantastic. But this is not good. It's a disadvantage type matchup, so the pride is completely on the line right now. Do a KO there. That's excellent. The freeze to boot as they thaw out immediately, though. It's always funny when that happens. So now that I've got stuff going, Credilli doesn't resist ice either, actually. So I think I'm primed right now. Credilli should be a 2-hit KO here. Not even close, but we get another freeze. Wow. I'm gonna take advantage of that for sure. So go to Amoongus here. They were fast with Aurora Veil. I can get off this rapid spin 100%. Do I recover first? I think I do. Yeah, Ninetales is fast enough. I can get up another Aurora Veil if that expires. So I'm willing to play for keeping my Avalugg alive right now. Darmanitan, Galar, and Cloyster. I think once I get a Cloyster boost going, I'm in quite a good spot. They do Giga Drain there. Not sure what they're predicting with that one. It's just trying to stay healthy. So yeah, not really getting too much actually off that whole exchange. Rapid spin or recover does give me a net health bonus here. But again, yeah, well, as long as I get a net bonus here. 14. Not really. Did I calc that wrong? Well, Aurora Veil's gone. I think I actually got to kill it. I've just been wasting time here. I think I just got to kill him. Then I'll do this, and if I go for the kill with Freeze Dry, which I don't think I'll get. No, I think I Aurora Veil. I think I play for the win. They don't really have an answer for Darmanitan. Might require some good Ice Crash luck, but I got 7 turns of Aurora Veil to pop off. Kind of a laborious game, but I've just been doing... I think I've been pretty delicate about taking out the Ferrothorn, and Credilli was low, but even if it wasn't low, it wasn't swapping into these... Even if it wasn't frozen, it wouldn't be swapping into these Icicle Crashes, of course. Yeah, they sacked their Ferrothorn, which I think was a bit of a mistake on their part. Grassy Glide's not going to disincentivize me either. Maybe they're trying to get Amoongus back up to full and try to spore me. I don't think it's going to be working for them so hot. I'm faster than you if they're playing for a miss. I respect it. But I'm not banking on that if I'm them. So Rude, I mean, it could be Grassy Glide if they're just kind of fun. It was a stupid Uber. Our opponent could beat us if they had multiple Grassy Glide users, maybe, but I think that's more of a meme than anything else. And let's see if we take it. Yeah. Again, it's funny how that was so laborious and awful, and we kind of pull away with a win in the long term because I was trying so hard to get that Ferrothorn and kind of that Amoongus, but Amoongus is more just like harrying our own defensive stuff and Credilli going. So it seemed like I was out of control there, but I think that was a perfect game plan for ice right there. And granted that like it's ice versus grass, but even had our opponent not been weak to this move, I still had 2 full setup sweepers. Like, show me a guy who can take repeatedly with Aurora Veil support, with rocks up, with your main counter gone, an onslaught from Cloyster and Darmanitan like that, right? So even if that had been like mono normal, right, or like a neutral matchup is my point, you would have a really hard time dealing with a potential sweep from both these guys just going off and attacking, right? So I think that was kind of the perfect game plan there, despite being an advantageous matchup. And we also beat fighting earlier too, so clearly it can hang with both disadvantage matchups and advantage matchups. But that's gonna be us done for now. Hope you guys like the team, and that was actually a perfect showcase because the defensive thing I was able to pivot a little bit more carefully around the Amoongus and the Ferrothorn with the defensive pieces of Piloswine and Avalugg. So I think it was a really perfect showcase. But I am boiling hot right now. I gotta go change or remove this ridiculous amount of stuff here. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. We'll do one more ice, but keep letting me know in the comments which typing you want to see afterwards, because clearly I am counting all the votes. I meticulously, I might add, I am meticulously adding all the votes, but that's me done. See you next time.